getting the facts right and alerting you to weather danger. This is KTXS News at 5.
In Crime Watch, an Abilene couple's been arrested accused of letting their dog die a slow and painful death over several months. Abilene police say these two, Preston and Tara Reed, let their dog Lulu starve to death over the course of 2 to 3 months. Back in November, Animal Control was called to their house to pick up their dog's body. Animal Control officers say they found a severely emaciated dog with a large mass on its head. A vet determined the dog would have been in severe pain for a long time, and the dog's legs showed 2 to 3 months of atrophy. The vet determined Lulu was made to suffer for months without medication. A woman from Fort Worth was arrested accused of shooting a gun and waving it around in a Brownwood hotel parking lot. Tuesday afternoon, Brownwood police say they were called to the Home 2 Suites because a woman was in the parking lot yelling and hitting a man and waving a pistol around. Police were able to find the hotel room and victim along with 35-year-old Alyssa Chick, but both denied having any problems. Police reviewed the security cameras and saw Chick pushing, hitting, and pulling a gun out on the man and firing it into the air. Eventually, police say they found the gun in Chick's car along with suspected meth. Chick was arrested and charged with gun and drug possession charges.
I'm KTXS reporter Copeland Welch in the studio to break down Project Stargate, a major development in Abilene's energy and technology sector. The project was a key topic at the 2025 State of the City address, and we learn more about what it means for the future of Abilene's economy.
Lancium is building a master development for a data center. Everyone has the phone. I know you probably have your phone in your hand right now. Those phones require data. It's a giant electronic filing cabinet. I say that with hesitation to the Lancium folks because that's a little dismissive of how complicated it is and what a complex type of industry it is.
Misty Mayo, CEO of the Development Corporation of Abilene, said this project has been in the works for years.
We have spent almost 5 years working with Lancium on the development that apparently has been just an overnight success in the last 2 weeks.
After gaining national traction at President Trump's first press conference of his second term, Abilene's city manager said citizens started asking questions.
You know, what's going to happen if we have another winter storm? Well, again, the beauty of Lancium and Crusoe's approach is that they're planning ahead for that. They're making sure they have the energy resources and energy production capability to handle their own needs. And so they're not going to be this big drain on the grid. So I'm excited that they're here. I'm excited about their community engagement and the responsible nature in which they're growing their business.
As for Abilene, Mayo says this brings a multitude of new opportunities.
These companies like Lancium and Crusoe are making a commitment to be a part of our community. They're making a commitment to spend their money in Abilene and grow that commercial tax base.
President Trump says Project Stargate is expected to create over 100,000 American jobs. And Mayo says Lancium will play a unique role in the Abilene job market.
What it does represent for Abilene is a new industry. And again, when we're able to grow commercial tax base and diversify the types of jobs and the types of industries, that diversification is a strength and is a future for Abilene.
While Project Stargate was a big focus at the address, one of the panelists, Taylor County Judge Phil Crowley, also said there is a lot of attention on the volunteer fire departments throughout the county. Crowley said the county does its best to support the departments, adding that the past 3 years the county has been able to fund their requested increases along with other funding throughout 2024. But even with this, Crowley expressed concern.
Volunteers on the department are down among most of them. There are some exceptions to that, but we need people to serve on those because the alternative, if that doesn't happen, is you might have to create an emergency services district that funds paid firefighters, and that would be another taxing entity, and the county really doesn't want to go down that road. And so we hope we can keep the system going.
You can find a full recording of the 2025 State of the City address on our website at ktxs.com.
afternoon, everyone. Well, we really warmed up after our cloudy, chilly start, and we're looking at some clouds coming back in late tonight, but no problems for your evening plans. It's clearing and warmer Thursday. We get another weak cold front slipping in late in the day tomorrow to bring us a little bit of a cool down for Thursday night before we warm it right back up on Friday. Our weather forecast model, yeah, we've got those south winds and fair skies across the area, and we'll hold on to those for the evening, maybe a few clouds tomorrow morning. Here's that cold front that slips down late in the day here into the big country to bring us a little bit of a cool down for Thursday night. Not anything terribly cold and no precipitation. And then we're back to warming temperatures on Friday. For your evening plans, well, we're looking at temperatures going from the 80s down into the upper 60s around 10 o'clock tonight. Lows tomorrow morning down around 60, maybe some 50s in our western areas. Highs tomorrow still in the 80s, but cooler temperatures are found in our northern areas late tomorrow afternoon.
Across Texas, Governor Greg Abbott is deploying Texas Department of Public Safety tactical strike teams to help arrest criminals in the U.S. illegally. Betty Cross, with our station in Austin, has this story.
Governor Abbott says the DPS tactical strike teams will be used to identify and arrest over 5,000 illegal immigrants who have active warrants from local jurisdictions across Texas. The governor says it's time to take action now that he has a partner in the White House who is working to end the border crisis.
Calling it a crisis is really designed to then justify actions like sending tactical forces, DPS, airplanes, helicopters to assist federal authorities in immigration enforcement.
Immigration attorney George Lobb says this is just a headline-grabbing effort to overblow the problem.
They'll announce that they arrested someone who had a conviction for a felony, and notice that it's maybe 1 or 3 people or 10 people out of the 200 that they grab or 300 they grab in one day.
The tactical strike teams include DPS troopers, special agents, and Texas Rangers who will work with federal officers to track down 5,400 illegal immigrants who have active warrants across Texas. The teams will have support from DPS aircraft and intelligence divisions.
The federal government does not have the resources that it takes to properly find every criminal alien within every community in the United States. It is absolutely necessary that states like Texas step forward and help with resources, help with personnel.
Today's announcement comes the day after 400 Texas National Guard troops arrived in the Rio Grande Valley. They will work side by side with U.S. Border Patrol agents to keep migrants from illegally entering the country.
People are committed to following the mandate that the American people gave when we voted in November. We want security, we want safety.
U.S. Senator John Cornyn started working today to get the federal government to reimburse Texas for the $11 billion it has cost to secure the border. Betty Cross, CBS Austin News.
Coming up on KTXS News at 5.
I'm ABC's Perry Russell in Washington. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill reacting to Trump's call for the U.S. to take over Gaza. That story coming up.
I'm Brenna Gibbons. A new reaction coming in from Capitol Hill on President Trump's plan for the U.S. to take over Gaza. Republican lawmakers apparently surprised by the announcement. House Speaker Mike Johnson calls the idea a bold and decisive move. Perry Russell is in Washington.
When we asked about your Gaza proposal, a lot of people are talking about, obviously, everybody loves it.
Republican lawmakers apparently caught off guard by President Trump's call for the U.S. to take over Gaza in a long-term ownership position and permanently remove the nearly 2 million Palestinians who live there.
The initial announcement yesterday, I think, was greeted by surprise by many, but cheered by, I think, people all around the world.
Democrats rejecting Trump's plan.
I'm not sure whether this was off the cuff or a strategy, but in either case, I think it actually sets back the cause of peace in that region.
Trump making the announcement last night, standing alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
History has, just can't let it keep repeating itself.
Trump calling for the U.S. to level Gaza and develop the land. He's open to the idea of involving the U.S. military.
We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute, I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East.
Netanyahu is in the middle of a delicate ceasefire deal with Hamas, working to free hostages still held in Gaza.
It's worthwhile really pursuing this avenue.
One of America's closest allies pushing back. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer today calling for Palestinians to stay in Gaza.
They must be allowed home. They must be allowed to rebuild. And we should be with them in that rebuild on the way to a two-state solution.
Ahmed Shanin lives in Gaza and says they will stay steadfast on their land, asking how can a Palestinian whose ancestors died on this soil go to any other country? A senior official for Hamas is calling on Trump to retract his statements on the future of Gaza, saying it adds fuel to the fire. Hamas is still in negotiations with Israel for their next phase of their ceasefire deal. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
From the Taylor Telecom Weather Center, your Storm Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mark Rowlett.
Hello, everyone. Well, we've got nice sunshine to finish out our day after some clouds and a cold start for at least the big country. And we're going to hold on to these fair skies for your evening plans. But a few clouds may return for tomorrow morning. We're kind of in a quiet spot for about 24 hours. We are, though, tracking a dry cold front that will move in late tomorrow afternoon and bring us a brief cool down for Thursday night. Active weather, well, just kind of showery skies. There's some wintry weather up there toward the Great Lakes, but we're not looking at any precipitation around here of consequence through the weekend. Temperature 72, still at 7 o'clock, at 69 at 10 o'clock tonight. We're down to only 61, quite a change tomorrow morning from what it was this morning. Here's that weather forecast model, and you can see generally fair skies continuing for most of the area tonight with a southwest wind. That helps to keep us warm for this time of the year. Here's that cold front sneaking into the big country, kind of stalls around Interstate 20 before actually beginning to retreat back to the north tomorrow night. So kind of like the last cold front, kind of a quick visit, and then it's back to the north. We're back to cloudy skies for Friday morning. But then look at that sunshine and fresh southwest winds. We are right back to warm temperatures for Friday afternoon. And we keep the warm temperatures around for Saturday. Here's a lot of cloud cover in our southern and eastern areas Saturday morning, but it's mainly sunny for Saturday afternoon. We are tracking another cold front, this one a bit stronger, that should move in Saturday night, and that will bring us a cool down for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of the week ahead. That cold air we've been fighting the past, 24 hours, you can see it starting to retreat back up to the north, but it's still cold up there. But that has been replaced by warm temperatures, and that warm air stays with us through tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures for tonight, we're looking at lows down around 60 with mostly fair skies, a breezy southwest wind around 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we'll call it partly cloudy, probably more sun than clouds. High temperatures up around 80 with west winds around 15 miles per hour. Then we're looking at that brief cool down here in the big country for the morning on Friday with upper 40s. Then we're right back to warm temperatures Friday afternoon with highs around 82. Look at that warm day on Saturday. Lows only in the 60s, highs in the upper 80s. But then the cold air comes in for Saturday night. Down to 40 for Sunday morning, 53 Sunday afternoon. Clouds start gathering on Sunday. Then it's cloudy and kind of chilly there for Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday with highs only in the 40s. And we are looking at maybe a freeze returning there for Wednesday morning. But yeah, mild is the word through Sunday.
Next on KTXS News at 5, 100,000 eggs. That's how many were stolen from a business in Pennsylvania. We'll have those details.
Download the KTXS News app today.
There's a new project at Abilene Regional Airport. Construction is about to begin on a new aircraft ramp, primarily for air tanker aircraft used by the Texas A&M Forest Service. They say it's being paid for with $20 million from the state and about $8 million from the city of Abilene funds. The new ramp will improve wildfire response capabilities and help protect communities across Texas and beyond. In Callahan County, the city of Clyde is under a boil water notice until further notice. According to a post online, the city says they're working on water lines. The city says you should boil all water for drinking, cooking, and making ice cubes, and that the water should be brought to a full boil for 2 minutes before use. The city will announce when the notice has been lifted, and KTXS will keep you updated with the latest. The price of eggs has soared over the last few weeks after the bird flu outbreak in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. A business had more than 100,000 eggs stolen right from the source. Pete and Gary's has been around since the 1950s and are now trying to recover after the alleged robbery. Andrew Klein with our station in Pennsylvania has more from outside the factory.
Well, guys, it was just a few nights ago that Pennsylvania State Police was called to this distribution center right here in Greencastle. They say the thieves stole tens of thousands of dollars worth of eggs.
That's pretty shocking to hear that someone could come and take 100,000 eggs.
Can't imagine they could use that many eggs, so.
On Saturday night, Pennsylvania State Police got a call about an egg heist at Pete and Jerry's Organics.
Makes me feel like I need to protect my family more, you know? There's a lot of crazy things going on in the world these days, and just pray to God that everything turns out better for the world.
Police say thieves stole around 100,000 eggs, valued at around $40,000.
Like, we have a whole bunch of warehouses around here, so there's definitely like a large quantity of product that could be stolen if there are people out there looking for stuff like that.
Pete and Jerry's put out a statement this afternoon saying they're working with police to try to figure out who did this.
I'm very surprised that that would happen in Greencastle. I actually work only about a couple hundred yards from there, so that's kind of interesting to me.
There's just a bunch of stuff going on, and like with all the tariffs happening, there's going to be impacts on prices and everything. So it's not good news if you're hearing that 100,000 eggs get stolen.
The investigation is still ongoing, so if you have any more information, you should reach out to Pennsylvania State Police in Chambersburg. In Greencastle, Andrew Klein, CBS 21 News.
Sponsored by Animal Health and Medical Center of Abilene.
Welcome back. Meet Pot Pie. The 2-year-old goofball is still waiting for his forever home. With boundless energy and a heart full of love, Pot Pie is a playful pup who loves to shower people with affection. He thrives best with dogs his size who can keep up with his playful spirit. It's hard to believe he's still at the shelter. He's ready to bring joy, laughter, and lots of love to the right family. You can meet Pot Pie at the Pet Adoption and Resource Center and see why he's the best friend you've been searching for.
For your evening plans, it's looking pretty nice, very unwinter-like. 72 at 7 o'clock, 69 at 10 o'clock tonight. We're down to around 60 tomorrow morning. And enjoy the warm air that stays with us through Saturday, a cool down Sunday. Then it's kind of chilly with some rain.